Hey there, thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Spiritual Scientist. I'm Victor. Hey, thanks for checking me out. I'm driving to work and I just took off my hand off the wheel, so don't tell anybody. No, I'm totally safe. But I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about trauma and dealing with trauma and higher dimensional mindsets to try to help for people to work through these kind of things. So I've done these kind of videos before. If you check back in my video selections for my channel, you'll see me talking a little bit about it. I'm going to hit it in a different way, which I think will be helpful. I was ended up talking to someone last night, doing a little therapy and for them, and it was really neat. What I was saying, sometimes I'm surprised at what I say, which is funny. So when we have a trauma in the past, what happens is we have that separation from the trauma to ourself. So that separation is what we're trying to do, is we're trying to kind of like an oyster with a pearl. So what happens is that oyster has a piece of sand that gets in it, and it's really an irritant, and it can't get rid of that sand. So what it does is it builds up a layer around the sand. So it builds it up and builds it up, and that becomes the pearl. So that pearl is the trauma itself, and what happens is it gets larger and larger because we're always trying to build up within our awareness that separation. So it's as if, like I was saying last night, it's as if, imagine that you had an aura and there's something called a thought form. So I'll explain a thought form a little bit. A thought form would be a thought that you have and that you give it energy. So within your mind, you have those synaptic responses. So once you start giving it feedback and feeding those synaptic responses in your brain, when you give it feedback, negative or positive, you're building up causeways, you're building up connections to it. So one of the ways that builds up, I'm saying scientifically, and now you can imagine it as if it was a dense packet of feeling, like information. It's a dense pack of awareness that's separate from you in your specific aura. So when you feel that anxiety, that separation of energetic states, that's what anxiety is. So anxiety is a separation of you from your totality of who you are. So when you feel that separation of anxiety, that informational awareness system is separate from you. So when you feel an anxiety, what I'm saying to you is, I want you to feel in your body, where is that feeling? Most people feel it in their chest because their assimilation of energetic systems into your body flows through the heart chakra. And when you have that anxiety, it is a separation of energetic systems within your heart chakra in that area. So that's why you feel anxiety in your chest. So what I'm inviting people to do is, when you have that separation, what you have to do is send that place love. So what you're doing is you're able to raise the vibrational state of that anxiety to a higher vibrational state, and then you can more readily assimilate it. So for instance, let's say you had a trauma way back in your past, and it's just a trauma, and believe it or not, everybody has a trauma in their past. Nobody goes through life with no trauma, without any trauma, I should say. So we all have these kind of traumas. When you're a higher vibrational being, and what you do is you go through the dark area of the soul, and you're assimilating those energies back into your system. So holistic, you're making yourself more whole, so you're able to absorb those energetic systems back into your being. So whole and holy are the same thing. So when you're more holy, when you're more whole, when you're more holistic, you're able to assimilate those things back into your being. So what I'm saying to you is that when you are able to send your past trauma self, imagine that you could send them love. What you're doing is you're sending that memory system, that place in your brain, you're sending that a higher vibrational frequency. You're changing your past, which will affect your present. So what I'm inviting people to do is, if you have a trauma, if you have something that bothers you from the past, imagine that you have a third person perspective, and you're looking at yourself and saying, I need to send my old self love. So all love can go through all space and time. So space and time are more of an illusion than what we realize. So you can send your previous self love, and that'll help you in the present moment for a number of reasons. One, scientifically, what you're doing is you're sending that part of your brain that has the trauma the love, and you're changing, you're editing your own history to be the history you want. So focus in on that, and then in a positive manner, only in a positive manner. So we're not trying to cause you to have a trauma where you're having negative things and then you're getting pleasure derived out of them. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is that you want to try to send yourself love and assimilate those higher, denser, and lower, I should say, vibrational frequencies of anxiety, so you can go back into where you need to be for yourself and your healing. So the whole idea of that, and these are all to give myself credit, these are all my original ideas, but what I'm saying is anxiety is a state of energetic frequency, to explain that you're have not assimilated. So it's assimilating those energetic frequencies that will help you to be more whole, to be more healthy, and have more holistic lifestyle, and end up being more holy. Because it's good to ask for help. Look for you could look for people who are Catholic. You could ask for Jesus for help with that, and for you can ask for outside help for that as well, from Archangel Michael, and for your own healing. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share. All right, bye-bye.